Hi, I'm Chris. First, I'd like to say I'm not a professional model builder. Um, I'm wanting to build this enterprise kit to learn how to light, and I'm using it as a skill building exercise for a lot of other things. I really like photography, and I like Star Trek, and I wanted to photograph some of the starships and put them into stellar backgrounds by creating backgrounds in Photoshop. The problem I ran into is I really like Voyager, and I couldn't find a model of it anywhere without having to build it. So in order to build it, I had to learn how to build models. So I've started off with these. This is the first model I built. It's one of the little AMT kits from Hobby Lobby. As you can see, my painting skills are not that great, but I'm learning. That's my first one I put together. This guy was my second one. All this is painted, except, of course, the names, and all that. I use the decals, but I did paint every part of this model. I learned how to airbrush on it and masking off all these edges to get everything around the shuttle. This little guy took me a month to build because I'm just, I'm not really that good. As a matter of fact, I'm still working on the satellite that goes in the back. I've got it primed up and getting ready to paint on it. But anyway, I built the Reliant. I bought the little cheap kit of the 3 starships, and I can't see that one that well. Let me zoom in on that. I was pretty proud of this one because I was able to get the texture on it and stuff, learning how to wash and stuff like that. But anyway, that's to let you know where I'm at. I don't claim to be a professional model builder, and I figured for those of you that are not really good at it, watching me, you can learn what not to do or see the mistakes that I make along the way, and it might help you building one of your own kits. So anyway, I've got this enterprise kit. It's the Charlie model. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. I think it was like $19. I figured I'd hack away on this, so if I screwed it up, I'm not out anything, because I don't want to hack up the Voyager. I didn't get the clear model. They didn't have it there. I didn't feel like ordering it. But the nacelles in this particular kit, the plastic is pretty translucent, and when I held a light behind it, it glowed really nicely. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all the details on it and leave the areas that need to glow. Well, I won't leave them unpainted. I may do this blue. It does come out to a pretty nice blue on the plastic. But what I was going to do is put a light coat with airbrush of a clear red or clear blue over it, just enough to give it that tint. And I want to light it from the inside with clear LEDs. That way I don't have to get fancy with all the LEDs, and you don't have a lot of room in this kit. But anyway, that's where we're at. So I'm going to start prepping everything up, and we'll go from there, and you can follow along if you'd like and see how I do it. And like I said, you can probably learn from my mistakes. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go through and get this molding off. Right here on the edge, I'm not going to cut that off. I can clean that up. And maybe I should quit saying so much. All I'm going to do is go around the edges. If you've built models before, then you know you've got to clean all this garbage off of there. So I'm going to go through and start cleaning these edges up. I'm using 160 grit sandpaper. Seems to work pretty good. It doesn't scratch too bad. It doesn't scratch anymore. Doesn't scratch more than what the paint can cover up. So I'm going to go through, clean up all these edges, get everything cleaned up, and then I'm going to wash it, get the plastic treated, and get it primed up. Of course, I'm thinking about dremeling my holes before I prime it. That way I can, that'll save one step, because when I prime, it'll be down inside the holes. I'm not sure yet, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, I've gotten started on the saucer section, getting holes cut in. I practiced on this little cheap one here. I'm trying the windows, working on that. I'll show you how that comes out later. I'm using a product called Micro Crystal Clear. I'm going to try that and see how that works. I know a lot of people use dental acrylic and things like that. I don't have ready access to that, so I wanted to try this and see if it worked, since it's pretty easily accessible for me. I tried over here. I filled this window from the back with masking tape, and it left a little divot when I pulled the tape off. So what I did is I tried filling it from the front, because over here where I filled it from looked really good. So what I'm going to do is try filling it from the front and see how that turns out. If that turns out good, then I'll show you how I did it. But anyway, right now what I'm doing is I'm starting on the holes around the saucer section for the windows. And this model is so small and the windows are so small, I'm not even going to try to make these rectangle. I think that's just going to be too much work for this model. I may work on that on the larger model, but for this, I think it's so small, you're not going to notice so much that they're circular. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep buzzing the holes in there. The ones I've got in there now took me probably about 10 minutes to do. Oh, and also have you a piece of wood close by. I learned that from watching one of the other modelers. When the plastic melts onto your bit, it makes it big, makes the holes bigger. So if you just plunge it down into a piece of wood, it helps clean it off. And I'm just making these holes a little random. I don't want them all lined up like soldiers. I want them lined up, but I don't want them all to match, be in the same spots. So it looks kind of random. They will be in line though. Okay, after getting these in, I have modified my approach a little bit, and I want to show you what I came up with. Since I'm doing round holes anyway, a lot better way to do it, a lot quicker and cleaner holes, is with a drill. I'm trying to do this where the camera can see it, so it does go a lot faster when you're holding it better. And all I'm doing is lining up with where the windows are already to keep them going. And then I'm kind of spacing them out a little random here and there, so that it doesn't look like, because the way the model is made, all the windows line up in a perfect pattern all the way around, and that would get kind of old. But anyway, as you can see, the holes come out a lot cleaner. I know they're round, but on this model they're just going to be round. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish those up and then go back and touch these up. So thought that would be interesting. Okay, we've got all the holes done. I went back through and did them with a drill, cleaned them out with a little circle file, a round file with a little pick. Went in and cleaned all the holes up. Got the top saucer section done. I dremeled that out right in there so the bridge lights will shine. It's not the prettiest work in the world. I went all the way around the profile too. Went ahead and got the body done. And I was thinking, when I go ahead and prime everything up, of course, I want this to glow here, because on this particular model, this was glowing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask that off when I prime and leave that bare, because I want to get some clear blue on that, so that'll be luminescent, whatever. It'll be illuminated. Same thing with the deflector dish. I'm not going to prime that. I'm going to hit it with some clear blue so that when that light shines through, it lights up. So that's it on getting the holes drilled, get them cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and wash everything, get it nice and clean, and mask off the areas that I don't want paint on. don't want primer on, and prime it up. Also on the back here, if you look on the back of the main hull, that section right there, I'm not gonna prime that either. For the engine, part of the engine's back there, and also up here on top, that section right there, I'm gonna leave that clear so it's translucent. So, like I said, this is a ghetto version of a clear lit model. So we'll see how it turns out.